All right. It's been a long day, long conference. Betty, I'd like to welcome you up to do the closing remarks.
It's over, almost. Everyone have a great time? Happy to be back in DC. I think it was a great conference. So with that, I get the honor of closing this meeting, but I thought, as usual, I would share some information and thoughts with you. I'm short, excuse me. So early survey comments, I'm not going to read every one of them, but I think they're a little enjoyable as a peek into what others thought. It seemed like we enjoyed NANOG 69. Some chuckling there. It is important, however, to all of us on the board, the program committee, all of us that volunteer our time, some of us that get paid to run NANOG, for you to complete the survey. We really do care about what you think of the speakers that we brought together for this program, the space, did we feed you well? So take some time to fill out that survey. It really is important to us, and it's important to NANOG to hear what you have to say. Thank you to our host sponsor, our connectivity sponsor, and to our premiums. It allows us to do a lot of wonderful things here at these meetings and continue throughout the year. So it's my job to thank all of them. And of course, all of the individual meeting sponsors that cover the cost of lunch and breakfast and snacks along the way. Many of them also were engaged in sponsorship activities for the social. So it makes it possible to bring all these benefits to you. There was a time when we didn't have what we have at NANOG, and these folks, through their sponsorship dollars, make it possible. So thank you to them. They're here, of course, for one value, which is return on investment. So I'm glad that the feedback from our sponsors was that you all stopped by their table or their exhibit and participated in conversation, picked up some swag. That's important for them to feel valued here. So thank you. Some statistics. Always my job to sort of give my summary. I'm not going to read them all, but it was surprising to me that we had 969. Patrick won. We have this little inside bet. I was a little nervous, frankly, that coming into this week we were under what I thought registration would be, but we went over 900 significantly, which is why Patrick won in the betting contest. Not surprising if you look at some of the statistics to see that attendance at NANOG, NTT and Juniper, core value sets, I think, are backbone providers and hardware gear. Someone asked a little bit about the the travel situation. I think for NANOG, the impact of the banned travel legislation before us is really for folks getting to us. Given most of our meetings and our purpose is in North America, we're not going to have a travel problem in the U.S., but it could be in attendance because we do have 22 different countries that find their way to our meeting. We don't do, I can bury down into the statistics, but of course we don't have any banned on any one country over another, but it does speak to the vast coverage of the community that we serve. Oh, I hit the wrong button. A little bit of demographics. I made the slide bigger this time. It gives you some indication of who's here at the meeting. And we see that there's a lot of sectors self-defined, but if you compare this chart to history, we're still very true to serving the industries that we have over these past many years. Special thanks, truly, to all of you for attending NANOG, making it worthwhile for all of us to come together 3 times a year. I explain to folks when we put these meetings on, it's like a block party. All of you come home and you're like a big happy family, and it's really rewarding to be able to serve you. Thank you to our members. Those folks who have become members of NANOG really help carry on and set the direction of merit or NANOG, listen to me, and engage with us. Back in the merit days, we didn't have membership, so we value that. We really do, and your engagement with the board is very helpful. The board of directors and the committees are what keeps me employed and set the direction of NANOG and the programming. We couldn't do it without the programming committee, and so thank you to them. Our sponsors, as I said before, they help with the financial contribution. We've talked many times the registration dollars alone fall a little short in giving you all the cookies that you enjoy, so these sponsors bring some revenue to help us. To the staff, Valerie and Day, sitting at the back table, they're absolutely wonderful and put in countless hours to make this possible for you. We have some contractors that do our network on site and our Wi-Fi radios and, of course, our netcasting. The Hamilton Group, you see them in the hallways. We couldn't produce this meeting without them. Allison, Kristen, and Tessa, you've seen them walking around the hallways, serving you in many ways, and they really are the backup staff. Alyssa, we all know she brings in the sponsorship dollars, and thank you to her as well. Some dates that I wanted to go over with you and make sure that you're aware of. We'll be announcing Bellevue soon. It's coming up in June. Then in October, we're going to San Jose. We expect both of those meetings to be fairly large. So as soon as always registration goes, check out your room, get your room rate locked in. Then for 2018, the last set of meetings that we have booked right now on this calendar is going back to Atlanta. We're going to go back to the Lowe's, just in case anyone wants to know. We're not going back to the same place that we were before last time we had the ice storm. We are going to Denver in June, and we finish out the year in 2018 with our return to Canada, and we'll be going back to Vancouver. It's a great location. NANOG on the Road meetings are turning out to be really, really important. We see a number of new faces at NANOG on the Road, which is important to the growth of the NANOG mission. We like to take the best of the content that's here at the big meetings to locations around the country where folks can't make it to a big meeting. So it's nice to be able to bring that flavor of NANOG to smaller communities. Coming up is Las Vegas, and I'm still working on September and November. The meeting that we're going to have in Las Vegas is Joint with Aaron. So that's also a good event. Places where we can't usually take a large NANOG meeting. The timeline for NANOG 70, we'll of course put that on the calendar on the website, but I thought I would give you some idea of when to expect the call for presentation, registration, when the hotel room block is open. All that information will be soon. Posted soon. We have to get home first, so it's very soon. With that in mind, I want to share with you the new landing page. We're officially closing NANOG 69 and welcoming NANOG 70. NTT will be our host sponsor, and we're looking forward to a return visit to Bellevue, to the Seattle area. Any questions for me? All right. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. Safe travels home.